Well, let's start with the developing story surrounding Florian Wirtz, and the process of him formally becoming a Liverpool player has moved a step closer. Michael, has it not today? Bring us up to date.
Absolutely, yes, it is moving closer, and he's expected to have his medical on Friday, and he's going to fly into the UK later this week, and those tests will be done around Friday, and he's coming back from his well-earned pre-season, post-season holiday. Remember, they've agreed a $116.5 million deal with Bayer Leverkusen, $100 million payment up front, plus $16.5 million in potential add-ons. It's very, very, very exciting transfer for Liverpool Football Club. I know we've talked about it's a lot of money, Liverpool are spending a lot of money, but let's be honest, they didn't spend a lot last summer, and I think Arne Slot has more than earned the right to make it a new Liverpool. So to reiterate, Florian Wirtz expected to have his Liverpool medical, Liverpool fans, Friday.
And Mark, given, it's a big financial deal, and so often in these cases, these become sagas, don't they? They go on for weeks and weeks, and we're talking about them for the whole of the summer window. Given the fact they've beaten off Manchester City and Bayern Munich to sign Wirtz, it seems, this process seems to have been relatively seamless.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the way Liverpool have operated so far in this summer's window. They've clearly identified the players that they want to strengthen the side, and they've gone out and got them nice and early. Now, teams that operate quickly often get the business done nice and smartly. They've got players that they've targeted. They don't have to go through long, drawn-out sagas and negotiations. They just get it done, get the players in, and it means that they can relax. And depending on what happens elsewhere in the window, the market forces are not going to affect them. So, for example, the benchmark for a young, exciting European midfielder, Florian Wirtz, is now 100 million plus. Now, if you're going to sign a player right now, but you're looking at that going, well, Liverpool have paid that, so this is what we want, then you're in trouble. Whereas Liverpool have just gone and paid what they're comfortable paying. There are a lot of add-ons, and that's important to point out. The 16.5 million that are in add-ons are dependent on Liverpool's success. So if Liverpool can win multiple trophies and Florian Wirtz is at the heart of it, therefore Liverpool don't mind paying that extra money to buy a Leverkusen. What you've got at Liverpool now is a really good trio of people at the top of the ship. Arne Slot, the head coach, Michael Edwards representing FSG, and Richard Hughes, the sporting director. Now, I remember Michael Edwards, I actually applied to work for him when he was an analyst, the head analyst at Portsmouth under Harry Redknapp. Yeah. Incidentally, I didn't get the job, but he's been in football a long time. Richard Hughes played in the Premier League, 15 years experience as a sporting director at Bournemouth from League One right the way through to the Premier League. And Arne Slot, an experienced head coach as well. So you've got people that are all on the same page. Liverpool are incredibly well run. They're very targeted with the business they want to do. Yes, they didn't do anything last summer, but they knew that what they had in the building was a good benchmark to go from. They knew that Jurgen Klopp had left a successful squad, lots of talented youngsters, and some real quality at the highest level there. They've just allowed that to develop. Now they've got a real idea about where they can improve, and that's exactly what they've done at the start of this window.
How differently life could have turned out if you've got the job at Portsmouth, eh?
I might not be sat here.
Fair loss.
You won't be, will you? No.
Well, listen, earlier on we got a bit more on Wirtz. We spoke to the European football expert, Kevin Hatchard, and he told us that Liverpool fans can expect a player who can deal with the pressure of what is such a huge transfer fee.
Yeah, I do think he can deal with the pressure because he's dealt with that kind of expectation since he burst onto the scene. He was seen as a rising star in German football, and he started delivering pretty much from the get-go. He became the youngest ever scorer in Bundesliga history at the time when he scored at 17 against Bayern, so already rising to the big occasion when he was pushing for Bayer Leverkusen's first ever Bundesliga title. He delivered. I mean, that goal against Werder Bremen was part of a hat-trick, his first ever senior hat-trick, and that was the game that clinched the title for Bayer Leverkusen. So when the pressure's on, he tends to deliver, he tends to step up. So there's nothing in his history that would suggest that he'd be really worried or nervous about making